Hello out there and good morning, traders. It is April 2nd, 2024, and welcome to the Apteros Daily Market Insight. Taking a look at our recap from yesterday, we had bullish ideas, bullish levels that just did not work out. This is our main line in the sand for the session, and we were bullish up above, bearish down below. And as we came into the open, you could see this was really the only opportunity for us for the bulls coming into that line in the sand, pushing back out, almost making our first destination, and then rolling over on us. And once it rolled over, there really wasn't any clear opportunity for the bull side of things, and it just started to break down, heading down to the downside. We got down to this neutral level here. It started to kind of grind around it, which not unexpected for that neutral level, as I'd mentioned in the DMI. Then we start to see the pop up and the sell off here from that shifting level in scenario two, heading into the close and into the overnight session here now. So yesterday, a shifting condition for us into scenario two. Not a very clear, obvious pullback for us to get involved with, so nothing really for us to do for most of the session. Just kind of waiting on a pullback into this line in the sand. We started to see it at the end of the session, but once we get there, it's kind of the end of the road for the daily intraday positioning. And like I said, if you scalp into the close, definitely something to be aware of and be bearish from. And now with the overnight, we are starting to see some shifting landscape as well on the ES. So let's dive into today's session plan. All right, so as we look at the ES today, we're starting to see a pretty steep move to the downside now. A lot of selling coming into this market, pre-market or pre-open, and we've seen a shift on some time frames now to the bearish side of things. So this is our main line in the sand, and we are bearish below it, and that would be scenario one, staying bearish below it into these destinations really. This would be our first destination here. That's kind of a nice spot for us to look for. And then if it gets below that, this is our overall destination to the downside of things. And that would be the end of scenario one. And that would just be what we're looking for the downside move. We do have some news coming out later in the session today, so that could kind of shift things around and give us a little bit of volatility. The best thing on a situation like this is to stay with the overall, clearly defined bias. I was trying to find the right word there, but essentially stay with that clearly defined bias and use your intraday tools to help you assess good trade locations along with that bias. Now, as natural traders, we have those intraday tools and that framework kind of laid out for us. If you are somebody that is just watching this to track, you can learn what those tools are, join us. But also, if you're somebody that has your own system, just keep that in mind that we are bearish underneath this level, and we monitor that intraday framework if we don't get good, clear pullbacks up to this line in the sand. But this line in the sand really is kind of the defining area for us for the bears, and we're monitoring that overall picture as this market develops here this morning. So I don't know what's obviously going to happen as this market develops, but that's our downside plan. Just keeping an eye out to the downside underneath the 52.76 area to the 52.83 area, and looking at these overall destinations down here as target zones for this downside move. If we end up seeing this all unravel, right, the bulls take over this market and we start to see it, really push back out, then scenario two would be what takes over from our line in the sand, and we'd be looking for holds up above into this first neutral target, and then we have neutral targets up above that we can use as continuation factors. And our main destination will be right here in terms of the upside, kind of taking over and unraveling this bearish move. And that would be kind of what we're looking at with scenario two. So that's our overall breakdown for the DMI today. This market is moving, so keep an eye out for it. Use your intraday tools, intraday framework, and all that stuff. Keep in mind our overall analysis and landscape here. It's not, bearish forever. It's we still have the context of what's happening on other time frames. So keep that in mind. Trade well, mind your process, and have a great trading day.